Hey guys, I just want to go through my Ancient Warrior Tri-Brigade build. So this is like one of my favorite decks at the moment. I've actually been trying to build Ancient Warriors for quite a while now, and trying to make it work, but obviously they have their challenges. But with the Tri-Brigades, obviously this has made much more consistent and a lot stronger. We'll see as we go through, and obviously with the replays, that the deck is not really capable of really competing with the top meta decks. I know that the Lyroless build has seen some success, which is fantastic. However, I feel like, especially BW and Tri-Brigade, they are so consistent and obviously quite oppressive decks that it's very difficult to compete with. But then again, this deck is definitely capable. It is I would say, in my opinion, a tier 2 contender. And yeah, and it's lots of fun. Before we get into the actual deck profile, I just wanted to send a big shout out to AIFS Melbourne. They have allowed me the opportunity to set up a Learn to Play Yu-Gi-Oh program on Saturday mornings. Obviously, Yu-Gi-Oh is an extremely difficult game to learn and get started in, especially when you are entering tournaments and going up against some of these meta decks, etc. It's quite a daunting task, and a lot of people end up dropping off. So basically, we've just set aside some time to coach, teach people how the game mechanics work, the advanced mechanics for the intermediate players, but just a safe place for them to come in, try out different decks, and then a bunch of the more experienced players can assist in helping these players either build the deck or understand it better or understand how to play, etc. So just a thank you again to AIFS for allowing us the opportunity, and definitely this is going to be a success. So anyone watching, if you're in the Gauteng area, more specifically near Melbourne, or would like to just come through, even if you have to travel a bit, definitely come through on Saturday mornings, and yeah, we'll help you where we can. So first off, the overview of the deck. The deck is a blend of Ancient Warriors and Tri-Brigades. The Ancient Warrior engine is fairly small, consists of pretty much 4 monsters. However, it's the main board presence of the deck. So it's able to actually put on board up to basically 3 interruptions. You can call it 2, but maybe 3 depending on if your opponent goes into the main phase 2. And you can do this under 4 summons, so you can't actually drop a Nibiru on it or anything. So the Tri-Brigades are obviously a new archetype. They support all Beast Warrior, Wing Beast archetypes, and they're able to support this one quite substantially, because they basically add 6 more play starters, as well as opportunities to go into a little bit more than what the deck was usually able to do. It's also allowing the deck to play first, potentially even a barrier statue, etc. So now the deck is capable of making the infinite negate board. However, I feel that's a little bit fragile and susceptible to like hand traps, etc. So I'm sticking with the 4 summon option, which is fairly resilient and is able to obviously avoid the Nibiru completely, which is a plus. So I've also tried multiple builds with this. I've tried one where I had like 15 plus hand traps, which is fairly bricky. Obviously you can still survive because you have the hand traps there, but you want to really get the engine started, so I cut that down. Also tried a build where it was like full combo, but obviously if you get hand trapped, if you if you're going second, for example, as much as you have like a lot of resources to go into combo, you can easily get stopped. So that's not ideal. So at the moment I'm settling on something where we have a heavy back row aspect of the deck. You can see I'm actually running quite a few traps. And the reason for this is because I also realized that the board that you make is very susceptible to getting dark ruled or dropleted. And if you do, you probably lose because you just have beat sticks on field and you can't really do much. So with the back row, at least if you do get dark ruled or whatever it may be, you can still defend yourself. And then from the next turn, continue playing. Also, I'm leaning towards the Tri-Brigade Revolt as one of the interruptions, so that not only is that card an interruption, but it also gives you a play for next turn. So yeah, I think this works pretty well, and I've seen a good amount of success with a few of the other builds as well. Either in online tournaments or whatever it may be, and like non-meta tournaments and some meta versions. So the deck is definitely capable of bringing through some good results. So let's get into the actual build itself. First off, we have 3-time Sun Mao. Sun Mao is obviously the play starter of the Ancient Warriors. And its effect is send any card from your field or hand to the graveyard, and then you can search your Ancient Warrior. Its second effect is if your Ancient Warrior monster's effect is activated, you can bounce a monster on your opponent's side of the field. So basically, not only is it a starter, but if you are going second, you can actually start pulling apart your opponent's field with him. It works really well with the next card, which is Zukong. And that card, it has a bunch of negate effects that I'm actually not using in this build, because you either need a continuous spell face up, or you need a specific Ancient Warrior monster. So those are basically null and void. The effect that I'm really using is the special summon effect. So if he's added to hand by an Ancient Warrior monster, you can special summon him. So basically Sun Mao will search this, special summon it, and then Sun Mao's effect will proc because an Ancient Warrior monster's effect was activated. So that's quite nice. Then obviously these two monsters go into Double Dragon, which you'll see a little later on. The third Ancient Warrior that we play in the main deck, which is Lu Feng. Lu Feng is obviously the new card. Sorry, just to recap, this build is going to be post Blazing Vortex, and the reason for that is it's out already, and there's a lot of cards in there that affect this deck in a positive way. It doesn't really drastically change it, but I think Lu Feng is one that does make a big difference. Okay, so 110 Lu Feng, and he's quite a big beater, and his effect is if you control a Ancient Warrior monster, you can special summon him from your hand. But then also during each main phase, you can destroy the strongest monster on your opponent's side of the field, or the monster with the highest attack. However, if you do that, you're locked into Ancient Warriors for that turn. So the nice thing about this card is it says once per main phase. So during each of your opponent's main phases, you can use this effect, which is quite unique, and yeah, it's quite useful. Also, with Double Dragon on field, he becomes a 3/3 attacker. So especially for closing out games and stuff, it becomes quite useful. I'm playing 3 times Fractal. This card is pretty much nuts. You can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, and then you can basically Foolish Burial a Tri-Brigade from your deck to the graveyard. So basically this card sends off either Kit or Nerval to the graveyard, generally Kit at the moment, and then you start your combo from there. The other nice thing about this is he's actually a Beast Warrior, and for Double Dragon he requires a Beast Warrior and a Wind Ancient Warrior. So you can basically make Double Dragon with Double Dragon and this. So you activate his effect, you dump Kit, you dump Nerval, you add another Fractal to your hand, you normal summon, you banish to make Double Dragon. link of Double Dragon and this, and then you make another Double Dragon which can search the Lu Fang. So that's basically the combo that we are doing, which is quite strong. Then we have 3 times Kiraz. Kiraz is obviously an extender. That's the reason why I'm playing 3, because he's live almost every time you draw him, even if you're not going to search him out of your deck. You basically need to send a Beast, Warrior, Wing Beast from your hand to the graveyard, and then special summon him from your hand. And then he's another name, and then obviously all the Tri-Brigades have the effect where they can banish from the graveyard to link summon a Beast Warrior, so that's nice. 2 times Kit. Kit is really not really needed in general. I think even for the Tri-Brigade archetype. I know a lot of people are really excited about this card, but all it really does is put an extra name or an extra Beast Warrior, Wing Beast in the graveyard, which is useful in this archetype, but like it seems like an effect that doesn't really need to exist in the first place, because Fractal does it already. However, what I've also noticed is that Kit can be a play starter in a way, just like Noel. You can basically normal summon it, link it off for like an Almirage, and then you can start your entire combo. So it's not entirely useless, sorry, but 2 Kits I think is fine. We have 3 times Novel. Novel is also nuts in the deck. If it's sent to the graveyard, however, discarded, linked, whatever it might be, sent from deck to graveyard, you can search a Tri-Brigade from your deck to your hand. So that's absolutely broken. So that's why we're playing 3. Then we have 1 times Apex Avian. Apex Avian is an Omni Negate. If you basically can bounce a Musvade card to your hand, so you can bounce himself, and then you can negate a spell, trap, or monster effect, including the effects of cards as well, so that's quite nice. You can summon this card off of Smog. That's the usual way how you're going to do it, so the link Smog. So during the end phase, that effect activates, and then you special summon the beast, a Wing Beast, from your deck, and then you summon Apex Avian. The other nice thing about Smog is that it actually protects the Apex, so you can't actually target Wing Beast monsters while that's on field, which is quite nice. Then we have 1 times the Wind Barrier Statue. So this is obviously locking your opponent out of special summoning anything but wind monsters. This is really good at locking your opponent out, especially if you're playing like Drytron, maybe even Dinos, a bunch of other decks. Really the only decks that are playing like wind monsters is, like VW. So this is quite a good card to use. So you special summon out of the extra deck, out of the deck with Smog, put in defense, and then you protect it basically with your Ancient Warriors. Cool. Then we get into the spells. We have 3 times Standoff. Standoff is pretty much a rota for almost anything in the deck. I know you can only search Tri-Brigades, but it basically starts the entire combo, and you can go off from there. So you can discard any Beast Warrior, Wing Beast, and then search a Tri-Brigade from your deck to your hand, and then obviously you start your combo. Also, it has a second effect where if it's sent to the graveyard, your opponent can't declare an attack that turn. So that's quite nice if you can send it off of Double Dragon to bounce something. Then also you protecting yourself from battle that turn, which is quite nice. Then we have 3 times Tenki. So Tenki can search Sunmao or Fractal from your deck to your hand. If you're searching Sunmao, it's a free combo basically. So you 1 card out of your hand, you activate Tenki, you add Sunmao, you back to 5. Normal summon the Sunmao, you on 4, activate, you send the Tenki, and then you go full combo. So basically you can go full combo on 1 card, and then you have 4 cards left to defend yourself, or whatever it may be. And that's kind of the reason why I went for the back row, because if 2 of those cards are back row, or 3 maybe, you can just set 3, and then you have like 5 interruptions for next turn, which is awesome. Then we have 1 times Foolish, because Foolish is actually full combo in this deck. You can send Novel, or pretty much Kit. Kit send Novel, Novel search Fractal, summon Fractal, and then go combo. So that's quite nice. 1 time Monster Reborn. I initially didn't have the Monster Reborn in this deck, but then I realized actually each one of the Tri-Brigades has the effect to link summon. So not only is it an extender, but you can actually special summon any one of the Tri-Brigades that you haven't used, and then use that effect to continue your combo, which is quite nice. 2 times Imperm, because Imperm is good. 2 times Ice Dragon's Prison, because Ice Dragon's Prison is broken. 2 times Revolt. So Revolt is an interruption. Basically what it does is you can special summon as many Beast Warrior Wing Beasts from the graveyard, and then use them to link summon. So if you special summon 3, you can go into a link 3. If it's 4, a link 4, etc. Now the nice thing about this card is that you can make the big Tri-Brigade Sureg, and he's a non-targeting banish. If you can make 4. And the other good thing about this is you can special summon like Novel to the field, link it off as the effect, and then once that resolves, you have Novel activates to search a Tri-Brigade from your deck to your hand. So basically, not only is this a removal piece and it puts a big beater on field, it also allows you to search a card from your deck to your hand. And if you put Surag on field, if he dies, you search again. So basically, this one card gets you removal, gets you a body, and gets you potentially 2 searches within your opponent's turn, which is fantastic. So I'm playing 2. Ideally, you might want to play 3, but you'll see why I'm playing 2 a little later. Then we have 2 times Torrential Tribute, because Torrential Tribute is nuts at the moment. Again, this is the reason why I'm playing 2 of everything. I'm playing 3 times Trap Trick. So obviously Trap Trick, you can't activate. You can only activate 1 more trap that turn. But the idea is that you just want to be able to search out whatever you need. So if your opponent set 3 back row in your turn, in that turn, then you can activate Trap Trick, and you'll see I'm playing Duster in the side deck. You can go into Duster. If you're saying that they actually are going to combo off and whatever else you have is not working, you can use this and go into Torrential Tribute. So that's quite nice. I think having this the Trap Trick as an engine is helpful in this deck. Okay, then we're getting into the extra deck. We have 3 times Surag. I'm playing 3 because this card is broken. He's such a strong card. This non-targeting banishes a card from the field when it's summoned, or if a Beast Warrior is summoned while he's on the field once per turn. And then if it's sent to the graveyard, however, so if it's sent from deck, banished, extra deck, you name it, you can search Beast Warrior Wing Beast from your deck equal to the amount of banished Beast Warrior Wing Beasts. So basically, if he's sent to the graveyard, you can search almost anything from your deck for free. So yeah, he's super strong. That's why I'm playing 3, and definitely 3 comes up. So yeah. Then we have 1 times Rugal. Rugal is the only Link 3 Tri-Brigade, so that's why I'm playing 1 of him. Because if you're using, let's say, Revolt, for example, you can only really summon a Tri-Brigade with that. So if you summon 3 monsters, you can only summon Rugal. Rugal's effect is kind of meh, but he can special summon a monster from the graveyard in your opponent's turn, and then during the end phase it returns to your hand. So you can probably use that effect, summon like Novel or something, even Fractal, and then during the end phase it returns to your hand, and then you can continue. Its effect gets negated on field, but then because you get it to your hand, you can play next turn. So that's quite nice. Then we have 2 times Ferret. Ferret is like a really good extender, because you can special summon a Beast or a Wing Beast from your hand, level 4 or lower, I believe. But if it's sent to the graveyard, you can also draw a card and then shuffle something back into your deck, which is quite cool. Then we have 3 times Double Dragon. Just because of the combo that we're doing, we need 3, because you're gonna use 2 in the combo. Double Dragon is send any card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Quick, bounce a monster from your opponent's to your opponent's hand. So basically, you can use his effect during any time, but you can also send any card, including himself. So let's say, for example, your opponent is targeting him to like destroy it or something. You can send him to the graveyard for his own effect and then bounce something. So either way, you get his effect off. Very, very strong. It's very similar to like to Hieratic Seal in a way. Obviously, there's no search or anything thereafter. But when he's summoned using Ancient Warrior, so if he's link summoned, you can search an Ancient Warrior from your deck to your hand. So the Tri-Brigades actually cheat out monsters. They don't actually link summon them. So if you use the Tri-Brigades to summon this, you won't actually get the effect. But and that's why we're using the summoned Fractal and this to make another one, so you can get the search. Then we have 1 times Appaloosa. Appaloosa is obviously really strong. You can make like a 4 negate Appaloosa with this deck. So that's quite good. Then we have 2 times Smog. Smog is also like part of the combo because you can special summon the Apex Avian or the Barrier Statue. Okay. Then you have 1 times Harrisfag, I think. I don't know how you pronounce his name. But basically it's a Link 3 Wing Beast. Its effect is quick banish a monster from your opponent's graveyard, so that's basically an interruption. And then if your opponent doesn't have any monsters in the graveyard, he becomes a 4800 beatstick. So this is such a good card in general, just for like decks, like the more meta decks like Tritron, etc. Just banishing one of the names in the graveyard and then shutting the deck down. Quite good. Then we have 1 time Almirage just for the combo. If you just draw Kit or Nova or something, you can summon it, make Almirage, and then go into combo from there. So that's quite nice. Okay, then we have 1 times Bear Bloom. Bear Bloom I'm sitting on the fence on because his restriction is quite tough. But his effect is like fantastic. His summon effect is not great. So basically he has 2 effects. You can discard 2 cards and then special summon a banished Tri-Brigade, which is a -1. It's not great, but I mean, if you're going to use the effect of that monster to banish and then link summon, maybe. However, his second effect is if he's sent to the graveyard, you can search a Tri-Brigade card. So you can search, I think it's Battle Trapper actually, but you can search Revolt from your deck and then shuffle a card from your hand into your deck. So basically, you can make this in combo, search the Revolt, set the Revolt, and then you have another interruption for next turn, and you have follow-up play. So that's quite strong. So that's why I have it at 1, but the restriction is quite menacing. Okay, then we have side deck. We have 2 times Nub. Just Nub is strong. 2 times Alpha. Alpha is like kind of good in this deck. So this is my view on Alpha: is that his effect is that you wanna try and break your opponent's board. But if your opponent has a big board, you generally don't have a big board. So it's very difficult for you to get like a multiple bounce off of him. So I'm not really sure about the alphas. I have it here. But what I was playing 3 Kaijus in the main previously. And the reason for that was because if you use Sun Mao's effect to add, and then you special summon the wind one, when you bounce a monster on your opponent's side of the field, you can basically kaiju them first, do the sun mode thing, bounce the kaiju, and then kaiju them again. Then you make double dragon, and then you bounce the kaiju again, and then you do it again. So basically, you can end up kaijuing the entire field, just with like one kaiju. So I might actually go back to that because that seems a lot stronger than having the alpha. But yeah, then we have 2 times Meister, 3 times Draw because they're just good. 1 times Duster, 1 times Reboot, 2 times Heavy Storm Duster for back row, and obviously because you can search it with Trap Trick. 2 times Evenly because Evenly is like really strong at the moment. I mean against Lich, Dino, even Zoo, like a bunch of these decks where they like put a bunch of stuff on field and then they end. Especially like decks that have like monsters and back row. Evenly is like really strong at the moment. Okay, so that's the deck profile, guys. Just have a look at the next video. I'm actually gonna post separately the combo video, so I'm gonna actually go through the actual combo, and then I'm gonna have a bunch of like replays, like some me getting trashed and some like me obviously doing pretty well. But yeah, so I'm gonna try this out, splitting the videos and see how it goes. Please like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think of the videos or anything in the future, any ideas you might have. Thanks again to AIFS for the coaching sessions, etc. Definitely go out and see them. They're quite a good store. Yeah, thanks. Bye.